Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives? Hello and welcome to another episode of So Are the Days of Our Lives. I am your host, Olivia Willis, and today I have two friends. We have a dynamic duo. There's a lot of couple energy in this episode, and I said we need a couple on the podcast. We need expertise. Two dear friends of mine are here to talk about a ridiculous episode of Days of Our Lives. We have Miriam Schwartz and Adam Canaparoli. Miriam and Adam, welcome to the podcast. How's it going?
Great. Thrilled to be here.
Exciting.
Do either of you have any history watching or experience with soap operas or Days of Our Lives?
None
None.
for me.
Good.
I was shocked that these episodes were from 2025.
Yes.
Total news to me.
Were you thinking it did not exist anymore? Like they did not put out new episodes anymore?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, this is from last year.
Yeah. Yeah. And guess what? They're still I'm behind because they still put out 5 new episodes a week.
Is on every night of the week?
Every morning,
Yeah,
I
right.
think. Now that so they don't air on NBC anymore. They exclusively stream on Peacock.
That makes sense.
So I actually think they might, just like every morning release an episode.
A lot of writing.
A lot of writing.
Yeah. And then the other thing I'll just say off the top is I was like, I'm going to let this wash over me. And
Miriam, yes.
And then 15 seconds in, I said, I'm so sorry, pause. I need to write things down. There's so much has happened in the first 15 seconds of this. I must take notes.
There's actually a balance. If you let it fully wash over you, you will drown.
Yeah. You're struggling for air.
Too intense.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you do have to be clinical about it a little bit. Adam, do you have any experience watching Days of Our Lives? Like any background?
The only background I have is any jokes and references from the show Friends. With
Iconic.
Joey Tribbiani. I'm sure
Yes.
other people have said that to you.
Yes.
So yeah, no, just there was no Dr. Drake Ramore, so I was starting from scratch.
There was an episode, a couple, maybe from last year, either early 2025 or in 2024, where they literally there was a scene at the hospital and they were like Dr. Blake Lamore. Like they made a reference to the Friends reference.
That's smart.
Those are the moments where I'm like, you guys are doing, it's camp. You know what you're doing and it's self-aware.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with it. And I feel like people think it's a very self-serious thing. And I actually think it's deeply unserious.
Do you think both the writers and the actors are deeply unserious or just the writers?
What a mean and funny question.
I truly don't know.
I think it's both.
Okay.
And I have no idea, and I have never spoken to anyone who works on the show.
Yeah.
But I think the actors probably have to have some level of deep seriousness because it is actually really hard to execute what they are being asked to execute.
Yeah.
So I could see some people taking it really seriously, but also you just have to be like, this is kind of goofy, right?
It's deeply goofy.
It's really goofy. And I would hope, especially the people who have been on it for decades, I'm like, you gotta laugh.
I think one of the main things that stuck out right away was these scenes are so
Short.
Yes. And they stop at crazy times.
Yes.
And so I'm sort of like, how do the showrunners decide what's going to be featured? It feels random. Are we going in an order?
I have no idea. My theory is that it has to be decided by scheduling. Who do we need when? The Jenga of we're going to film all these scenes with Stephanie and Alex, and we're going to film 40 episodes worth of scenes with them in one day, and we'll just put those wherever we want them to go. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I have no idea if that's remotely what they do, but I always think about the matrix of scheduling that they must deal with and just can't sleep at night when I think of it.
No.
Oh, it's so crazy. But yeah, I think part of why I became obsessed with this show is because it is relentless and never ending. Like I watch this show almost every day of my life and I'm still 7 months behind. Like I will never catch up
Yeah.
and be watching in real time unless I skip a bunch of episodes. But I think that like something about that is comforting to me when I can just be like, I know I can turn on Days of Our Lives and there's 500 episodes I could watch in a row and not run out of something to watch. So that's comforting to me. But I'm curious if you guys have like, obviously not the same volume of episodes to catch up on a show with, but do you have like comfort TV that you're just like, I can turn that on and like turn my brain off, or just like, no, it's always dependable when I go to it?
Not at this time in my life, and actually probably never. I was not somebody who like during COVID was like, I gotta rewatch The Office to like,
Wow.
that's not really my relationship with TV, I would say.
Amazing. Do you do like book? What do you read? No.
Never in my life have I read.
No. Or you're just always watching new stuff.
I'm always watching new stuff, but I wouldn't, that's not to say like it's good stuff. Like
Sure.
it's comforting to me to watch bad reality TV. Like
Love
maybe,
that.
you know,
Love
it
that.
could be like the seasons of Bachelorette or
Yeah.
Love is Blind or whatever. Like that feels like guilty pleasure / comfort to me, but it's
Yeah.
not rewatching old episodes. And it's not like, I know for a lot of people, like, The Office or Parks and Rec or whatever is
Yeah.
like a comfort. And that's
Yeah.
not, I love those shows, but I don't have a desire to rewatch them or like,
Uh-huh.
yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I don't at this moment we have a young child. We don't watch a lot of television at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
I think sometimes I've played video games in the past that
Oh.
fulfill a similar
Nice.
role of, checking out, but yeah, not
I love that. You're like, I'm sorry, son, don't bother me. I'm watching Days of Our Lives. I'm
Yeah.
catching up on 200 episodes of Days of Our
Precisely.
Lives.
not at the moment.
Do you know what not to turn this on you, but like, what is the history of like American soaps, right?
Oh my
Because like
God.
it feels like telenovela, like what did that come before? Like, did they evolve? You saying that it's been around or that it's been playing for that long, like kind of blows my mind.
Yeah. So Days of Our Lives started in 1965
That's
and
crazy.
has been running ever since. And it's like an early soap opera, but not the first one. I did some research on it at one point, and it's like the first soap opera was like in the early 1950s, like true, like radio show that turned over, like radio drama that turned over into television. And they're called soap operas because they were literally sponsored by soap companies, and like the soap commercials would come on in the middle
Oh,
of them.
interesting. Yeah.
That stuck for some reason, that
Yeah.
name.
Sure.
But what I find fascinating about it is that like the guilty pleasure element of it, like this used to be culturally what like I think all Americans watching TV were like, I get my guilty pleasure fix from watching soap operas. And now
Yeah,
we get
right.
it from reality TV. And it
Yes.
just didn't exist back then. But
Yeah.
like this is the blueprint for everything on Bravo and
Absolutely.
like The Bachelor. Like it is a 100% copy paste those
Yes.
things.
Yes.
So this almost feels like television history, but they are still making it. So it's weirdly like competing with the thing that it birthed.
Yeah. Totally.
It's interesting that reality TV isn't very realistic, right?
Yes,
And so
yes.
like this in a way feels more authentic because it's not trying to be anything other than it is.
Totally.
Yeah.
And soap operas, current soap operas, the few that are still running are definitely not in competition with reality TV. Like no one, like you said, people don't think Days of Our Lives is still running. They think it was over in the 80s and like that was Marlena got possessed by the devil and that was it. But like it's oh yeah, that was a big thing. This woman got possessed by the devil twice. She's not in this episode, but
Twice?
yeah, I know.
Bad
It's
luck for her.
Bad luck.
That seems like she did something in a past life that was not good.
Not good. Any other thoughts before we dive in? I mean, you mentioned the extremely short scenes.
Yes.
Anything
Yes.
else that just like grabbed your attention right away?
So the production quality is
Yes.
is wild. The fact that so I have a little bit of experience in technical theater, and like I took lighting design, and
The
the
lighting.
fact that you can tell that they just like put up all the lights and they're white, or a shade of white, and every scene got the same lighting. And
What time of day is it ever?
Ever. It's always you're on the surface of the sun, actually.
Yeah.
There was one scene I was watching where I was like, did they pull up two cars and just shine the headlight? Like it literally, the scene looked like it was lit
Amazing.
with the headlights of two trucks.
The lighting and the sets together are like, I mean, it looks like a theater set a little bit.
It looks like, I say this all the time, it looks like a community theater production of like The Music Man. Like when they're in the town square and it's just like the weird flower cart that's always in the background.
So weird.
I love it. The cobblestone streets and the thin, thin walls.
Thin, so thin.
And then I'm like, so it's not on NBC anymore, it's on Peacock, so they kind of could do whatever they wanted. They could be like, we're actually going to switch to doing one episode a week, but it's going to be an hour long and it's going to be like a higher production quality. But it's like, then would that even be a soap opera? Like, what would that
it
be?
might not. Right. Do you think
it's interesting
that Days of Our Lives is like the production quality is unique in any way compared to other soaps, or is that kind
I
of
don't really watch other soaps, which is
how
funny.
Could you? What time
with what hours of my day
of the day could she watch another soap?
So
foolish question.
Okay, so with that, should we dive in?
Yeah.
To the recap. Okay, everyone, here we go. Crack out your notes, Miriam.
I got them.
Days of Our Lives, season 60, episode 185.
Crazy.
This aired Friday, May 9th, 2025. So we're almost coming up on the year anniversary of this episode. Happy anniversary. So this episode begins in Stephanie's apartment, where Stephanie wakes up in bed beside her boyfriend, Alex. She is somehow pretending to sleep, fully propped up on 3 upright pillows, but like her head is like smashed up. It looks shockingly uncomfortable. And she just like rolls over and is like, good morning. And I'm like, absolutely not. I call bullshit immediately.
Yeah. It's so late. It's so late.
I slept in. I'm so, Alex is sitting up reading a manuscript of this secret romance novel Stephanie has written called One Stormy Night.
Did we miss the part where he found the manuscript or she gave it to him?
In a previous episode, he like found it sitting out.
Okay.
And told her he was going to read it.
Okay.
And she's been very like, no, it's just a hobby. Don't look at me.
Yeah.
So that's why she wakes up. She can't believe he's actually reading it. But he insists this stuff is hot and he can't put it down. And I was like, oh no, I'm not going to like where this episode goes.
Sorry, the book is called One Stormy Nights?
One Stormy Night, singular.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. I wrote One Stormy Nights? Why?
That would have been starting off on the wrong foot for sure.
Yeah.
So, end of that scene. Next, we go to what I think is genuinely Salem's cutest couple. Leo and Javi are the gay couple strolling past the pub. I'm obsessed with them. So, Leo started out as like a major villain on the show. And now he just has had kind of a redemption arc and is just like a fun gay guy about town wearing prints. And I love that about him.
Who do you think dictated that? Like, was that like that?
I think he was like a fan favorite. Yeah, I think the actor was really good. And I think the people were like, wait, we need more gay stuff going on. Bring him back.
Yeah. Loved his energy.
Leo and Javi they're walking. It's the morning. Leo busts out the Spanish. He's like, mi amor, dime. And I'm like, okay, we are a bilingual couple.
Yes, but I love
obsessed.
that he's trying, that he
really
that clearly is important to Javi. I was like,
I don't think it is actually.
Well, I've watched one episode and I would say
you're like, if I know Javi, I know that his partner being able to speak conversational Spanish is important to him.
Important. I feel like they did not change the music between scenes. So it's unsettling always.
It's an uneasy, dramatic, like
Yes.
hum underneath every scene.
right, and it just flows right through. I said,
Yes.
unsettling.
And I thought that the
Music.
the score seemed like 80s porn music is what
Yes!
I had highlighted.
It is an extremely specific sound.
Yes.
Wild.
I love, when it starts just like a fun, chill scene with that music, it is sort
Yeah.
of like, what's bad about to happen?
Right.
But
What's the vibe?
they're just going to
But there's
chat.
a secret. There's some kind of like the job thing is not working out.
Yes, so we go into Leo starts the conversation in Spanish but switches to English because he wants to know if Javi's thought about quitting his job. He's been working for his cousin as her assistant at this fashion company, Gabby Chic, which I love. Javi's conflicted. But Leo thinks it's not as hard as the SATs. There's one box that says, "Am I miserable?" and another box that says, "Am I not miserable?" which I said I thought was an extremely privileged way of looking at employment. We're all miserable, okay? Cut us some slack, Leo. We can't all be gossip columnists turned journalists like you are.
Right. He also references Gen X,
Oh,
which I thought, who are your Gen X friends, Leo?
what is he? Where does that come from?
It's about, I'm suggesting that Javi like
Quiet quitting.
quiet quit.
Yes.
Because have you never spoken
A
to,
millennial, I think what I said.
no,
Gen
it was
X?
Gen X.
That doesn't seem like an accurate
I know.
reference,
But we
Leo.
aren't Gen X, so we aren't. So who do I what can I say? But like, I guess my question is who is he talking to that's giving him
I have
these?
no idea. Somebody at the paper that he works
Probably.
for.
Oh, he works
Probably
for a
one of
paper.
those reporters. He works for the Salem Spectator,
Oh.
the one major newspaper in town.
Are we in Chicago? Outside of Chicago?
Miriam, we are in a sleepy
America.
suburb of Chicago
Sleepy suburb.
Okay.
named
Yeah.
Salem,
Salem.
Illinois. Not the Salem you're thinking of.
No, certainly not. No witches to be found.
Actually, untrue. I mean, possession, devil possessions,
Devil possession.
psychics, all manner of spooky thing do happen here, but not witch trials. We're back with Javi and Leo. They're complaining about how Javi hates his job, but Javi's conflicted. Yeah, Leo encourages him to start quiet quitting. And to start quiet quitting, Leo's like, "You're going to skip work and we're going to have eggs, Benny, and mimosas in the square."
Yeah.
Now, inside the pub, EJ Demera, tall, kind of salt and pepper British man
Of course.
with a cane.
I have the most questions
Yeah.
about this.
Yes. Okay. So he's confronting his son, Johnny. I'll just name right off the bat, if you don't know their relationship is father-son, it is very jilted lover
Yep.
Yes.
energy, where it's like,
Right.
I know everyone wants me to hear you out, but I can't stand to be around you. Like it's
Yes.
it's hot.
Yes.
It's hot.
It is hot. I would say key elements that I noticed
Yes.
include his father having an accent.
Yes.
Which can happen,
Sure,
but
that can
unusual.
It's an international family.
Okay.
Everybody's sort of like half siblings
Okay.
of this like patriarch who ran the
Yes.
family, and so they all sort of like grew up disparately and then came back together as they all realized they were kin. And so
Yeah.
EJ grew up in the UK,
Okay.
allegedly,
Who's to say?
or just has a vague European
yeah.
British accent.
Yeah.
And then of course Johnny grew up in Salem.
Yes.
Yeah.
And EJ has a face the same size as his neck. I felt like his neck was doing almost as much acting as his face.
You
That
broke
was
me.
surprising. That was surprising.
You broke me with that, Miriam. Wow.
It was
Okay. Great
I
observation.
wrote it down.
And how did that make you feel?
His neck? I said,
Did it make
I
you
said
feel
a giant neck.
scary? Scared? Were you scared?
Scared. I couldn't, to be honest, I was like not sure if I should focus on his neck or his feet because they were both like equal parts working.
They were both in the scene.
Yes.
I love that. I also love that he's using a cane because he was recently shot in the chest.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't catch the where he was
Well, he
shot.
was in a coma,
Uh-huh.
which is
Yeah, if
That'd
his
be
like
pretty
leg got
serious.
clipped, like
Yeah.
I don't know if that would happen. Yeah,
Most
yeah.
coma patients will use a cane afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
Right. I don't know.
Never
That's
been in
it.
a coma.
So yeah, basically the entirety of this scene is just they are in conflict. Johnny doesn't want to see EJ, but EJ's going to stop him and try to talk to him. But we're going to cut away before we actually get the talk.
Yep.
Smash cut to the town square. We're in a medical crisis. We have husband and wife, Xander and Sarah.
Okay.
Sarah is unable to breathe. She is clearly, I'm sure you could tell from the first second you saw her, having an allergic reaction.
Yes.
So Xander's just helpless, screaming for help.
Yes.
Chad and Kat, who are these two other people, they've been sitting nearby, they run over.
Yes.
But they're all moving so slowly. They're like, what's happening?
He's
what?
going like this. He's going like
Yes, he's pulling at her shirt.
Yes.
As if her mock neck tank top is choking her.
Yeah.
Xander like stops to explain, they were eating these pastries. All of a sudden, Sarah couldn't breathe. And then Chad's like, huh? She's choking? What? And Sarah's like shaking her head no, that she's not choking.
Yeah.
Kat finally calls 911 and Sarah's again pulling at this mock neck tank top she's wearing.
Would be dead or on the ground, certainly.
Should be dead. Should be dead.
Yeah.
But we fade into the opening theme, like sands through the hourglass. So are the days of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful work.
Beautiful.
We go back to bed with Stephanie and Alex. We find out Alex has been up all night reading this romance novel, which feels like too slow of a reading speed.
That's a great point.
I'm not feeling confident, but Stephanie points out he's reading it way faster than he read Moby Dick. And then Alex complains, there was too much about whales. I'm just like, what a reference to have made. The first book we're going to reach for is Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Timeless.
It's a classic.
It's a
that everyone will
classic.
recognize.
Yeah.
But he's clearly a voracious reader.
Clearly.
But
Clearly.
Unless he's taking time to jerk off or something like that.
There's potential for that.
Maybe. He seems really...
He's extremely horny.
Hot. Yeah.
The way he's always like, no, trust me.
Yeah.
It's hot. I'm like, ugh.
She says, no, she says it's salacious drivel.
Yes, she does drag herself.
She does. And uses crazy words. But she's a writer, so she's just got a lot to...
I wrote this on a lark. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
I love when they say on a lark.
Is she a writer? Is that what she does?
She does PR.
Oh, so sure. A little writing here and there.
She's got to spin a statement.
Yeah.
That's salacious drivel.
That's salacious drivel.
Yes.
So as we go forward, I lost the plot a little bit on people's on the like economics and the sales of like who works in what business.
There's a lot of corporate
buying a hospital kind of thing.
Yes.
Maybe we can get into it later, but like
we'll get into it.
He offered to publish her book.
Yes. So
because he works for what?
He works for a monopoly, basically. There used to be 2 Fortune 500 companies in this town, in this sleepy suburb of Chicago.
Yeah.
One was Demira Enterprises, which used to be a front for all sorts of illegal and nefarious activities, but they dabbled in everything. They did fashion design. That's where Gabby Sheet comes in. They did drug trafficking, naturally. They did, and now we're finding out they had a publishing wing. Like they're just doing like capital B business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bringing jobs
to all this fight.
Bringing jobs to the community.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, there was another just like business company, Titan, which was run by a different family, the Kyriakis family. Demira recently did a hostile takeover of Titan. So now they are combined into Titan Demira.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned a lot about hostile takeovers on that episode.
And the other one, Xander and EJ are now like co-running this thing.
Now EJ's out. So the hostile takeover happened when EJ was in his coma.
Ugh,
so that they could
unfortunate.
wrest the company out of the DiMera family's hands. So now Xander
Mhm.
is running Titan with his like brother who's not in this episode, and Alex is like helping them. He's like a cousin of theirs. So yeah,
Okay.
Alex is
Okay.
like, we're going to reinvent the publishing industry or the publishing wing of DiMera Titan
Yeah.
with One
This.
Stormy Night. And this is a moment
Definitely.
I just loved. He's telling her it's a bestseller waiting to happen. Titan DiMera is going to publish it. And she ends the scene with what I described as a 1, 2, 3 silent reaction of like, she's like shocked and then flattered and then in disbelief.
Yeah.
But it is all they are incredibly individual reactions
Yes.
happening silently one after another.
I'm so curious when they're on set if they're like, if they map that or if they're just like hadn't called cut yet. And so she just kept acting.
She was filling that moment,
Absolutely.
which I appreciate.
Yeah. She was
Been great.
going through
She went on a journey.
all of the emotions.
She went on
Yeah.
a face journey.
Agreed.
So now we're going to go back to the father-son fight in the pub. Johnny doesn't want to talk to EJ, but EJ's like, I have something to say to you. And then the guitar stings and EJ goes,
Yes.
I forgive you.
Forgive me.
Yes.
Forgiveness. Wow. What a twist.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So Johnny's taken aback. He's like, forgive me for what? And then EJ goes on to cryptically talk about how Johnny knows what he's referring to and he's not going to tell anyone. He goes, I'll protect you with my life if necessary. British.
Yes. And also, and not just British, but a clearly like potentially a classically trained theater actor. I felt like his diction was fantastic and he was giving a theatrical performance
RP.
with theatrical diction.
Absolutely.
RP, yeah.
Agree. Hard agree.
Yes.
Fun fact, that actor is Australian.
Okay.
Well, that
That does
ruins
kind of make
everything.
sense.
So I
Maybe.
think it's contributing to
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
the
love that.
dialect. Yeah. The dialect is running the scene. perhaps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, that's fair.
But so basically what's happening, EJ's like, I remember what happened.
Yes.
So EJ thinks Johnny shot him
Of course.
because he found this like a hidden camera in the room where he got shot conveniently that
Did
shows
he get
Johnny.
shot in Salem?
He got shot in his home.
Oh.
And there was a hidden camera conveniently positioned that captured Johnny coming in and pointing a gun at him. But then the camera cut out.
Yeah.
So naturally, EJ's like, you shot me.
I think that too, probably.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So basically, EJ's telling Johnny he remembers, and Johnny is suddenly sheepish. Back in the square, Sarah is still fighting for her life. I can't
Still.
believe we haven't lost her at this point. Xander, again, is still just tugging at her. Chad is positioned like he's coaching Little League. He's in a squat with his hands on his knees. The ambulance is on its way, but Xander's mad someone isn't there now. And I'm just like, now you have urgency? Before you
Yeah.
were just like, Leo and Javi wander into the square, and
Thank God.
in the time it takes for Leo to be like, oh my God, Sarah, what's going on? Javi has leapt into action. Thank God.
Yes.
Somebody has to.
Yes.
He's taking Sarah's pulse. He's looking at her arm. He goes, she's in anaphylactic shock. And Xander's like, what? Are you sure? And I'm like, why are we arguing with this
But he
confident
knows
man?
that she has an EpiPen
But he knows that she has an EpiPen. Yes.
and is allergic to pistachios.
Correct, Miriam. Correct.
Adam said that he thought that that meant that Xavier was Xander? Xander. Sorry, Xavier is from
Paradise.
Yeah, precisely. He said that made Xander look like suspicious.
Yes, because it's like you're stalling and
Yeah,
why would you
sure.
ever, if you hear, I think she's in anaphylactic shock,
Yeah.
why would you be like, that sounds weird to me. She does have a food allergy and an
And
EpiPen
there's
in
an
her
EpiPen.
purse. But
Right,
I
that's
don't think we should jump to anaphylaxis.
Right.
It's
Yeah, wild.
ridiculous. Yeah. And then even when Javi grabs the EpiPen, he's like, wait,
Don't do
stop,
that."
don't. It's
Yeah.
so weird. It's
No.
very weird.
Right.
I
'cause,
can't tell if that is supposed to seem weird? Like if that's murdery or if that's bad writing, I just don't know.
I think it's just weird bad writing in that scene because he did not I
It didn't
know for a
seem at the
fact he
end.
didn't poison her.
Okay.
Unless it's going to come back a year and a half later.
Okay.
And it's like, remember the
Deep
pistachio.
callback.
Yeah, exactly.
So then just like poor a bad partner or like
Yeah, I don't know. Just like a dumbass.
just a dumbass.
Just a dumb man, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
There are dumb men out there.
Definitely.
Turns out there are a few. So yeah, whatever. Javi jabs Sarah. Leo is in the corner gagged.
Yes.
And Sarah's breathing returns to normal. She kind of slumps against Xander. And like everyone literally stares in silence in shock for, I counted 13 seconds before we go to commercial. 13 US seconds passed of everyone just being like,
at the marvel of modern medicine?
Yes. They're like, wow, that was close. That was the vibe I got.
13 seconds. I didn't.
13.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes on so long, I do have to count for posterity.
Yeah. That's crazy.
We come back from the commercial break. Kat has gotten a water cup out of nowhere and hands it to Sarah. And this is when I realized Kat is low-key wearing a wedding dress. She's in like
they're both kind of like they came from a wedding.
They look very formal, but no, Kat, that's I think just what Kat wore to work.
Where does Kat work? She works in the square?
Kat
In the square.
She works at the
Square
flower
worker.
cart in the town square. No, she is an assistant to a psychiatrist at the hospital.
Of course. And she wears
Naturally.
that to work.
And she wears that.
With
and
like
she
her
wears-
hair done.
I was also really
hospital.
pretty upset with her hair. It was like in a bumpet.
Yeah.
And she was in a wedding dress with like a very dramatic red lip.
Yes.
Seemed nice. Seemed nice to me.
Adam thought she was hot.
Adam's like,
She looked nice.
Adam's like, that's what people wear to work at the hospital. I don't see
Every
what the
hospital I've ever
problem
been
is.
to.
Yeah. Whenever I see a psychiatrist at the hospital, that's what her
That's what
assistant
she
is
looks
wearing.
like. That's what she looks like. And the other guy's named what?
Chad.
And they're doing it, but not together. He won her in a contest. I missed some stuff, I think.
They're
not doing it?
Oh.
You said they're casual.
They're like about to, maybe.
not doing it yet, but I can spoil it now.
You
They're
can confirm
gonna.
that they're gonna do it. Yeah.
Yes. So they have a complicated history because Kat first came to Salem impersonating Chad's dead wife.
Oh boy.
What?
Yes. So she was basically like, hi, I know you thought I died, but I'm your dead wife, Abigail. I'm alive. I had full facial reconstructive surgery, so I don't look anything like myself. I also have amnesia, so I don't remember anything about you or our life together.
She was scamming him?
She was scamming him, but she was scamming against her own will because
she was a pawn.
she was a pawn. That's exactly right.
I knew it.
And now Chad is like, we can be friends. I understand why you did that.
That's crazy.
He's really the only one who's like, no, I forgive her. And I'm like, it's because you want to bone her.
Yeah. As if to suggest that they didn't bone when she was pretending to be his wife.
I think they didn't. They kissed, I think, but like it was all very.
To be honest, like that would be a boner killer for me. For somebody to be like, I think I would feel obligated to marry that person again. But
If
like
they came back from the dead. Sorry. So it would, I'm sorry, it would be a boner.
Died,
okay.
If I had a dick and Adam died, and then somebody came back and said, I'm Adam, but I don't look anything like Adam. I got facial reconstructive surgery and I don't remember anything about being Adam. I'm not so sure that I could sleep with that person, but I do think that I would feel obligated to marry them. To be married.
So that's it. That explains why Chad and Kat didn't hook up before when he
I'm
thought.
just saying.
Okay, so
But now that she's just a girl in a wedding dress,
take her to Bone Town.
take her to Bone Town. And she's a protective sister, so that's hot.
Yeah, we like that about her.
We do. Even though she touches her sister like it's her daughter.
I know. We're gonna get to that scene, but she's doing a lot of mama bearing in this episode.
Yes.
Now that we've broken down Kat's entire story and her
Yes,
wardrobe, we're briefly gonna go back to that scene. Chad's like, oh, we're so lucky Javi came by. And they do like the ghost thing where it's like, yes, Javi, thank you.
Where is
He's
he?
gone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they
then
didn't see him.
Leo's chasing Javi into the park. He can't believe it. Javi's a hero. And Javi's just like, "Ugh, all I did was stick her with an EpiPen. It's like not a big deal." And Leo's like, no one knew what was wrong with her until you came along. And again, I'm like, someone should have known. We shouldn't
Totally.
have needed Javi.
Right.
And yeah, Leo can't understand why Javi wouldn't stick around for all the praise and adulation. He's like,
That was
that's
super weird.
that's what I searched my whole life for, is that level of praise. I'm just like, he's always
Maybe that's his villain story, though, right?
Yes.
Like that is to help us
Narcissistic.
understand why he was a villain in the beginning.
Absolutely. And then Leo's like, I think we can get like a free breakfast out of this, or maybe a vacay to the Scottish Highlands,
Scottish Highlands.
because Xander is Scottish.
Okay. So there's context. Okay.
So yeah, Leo's like, let's go see what we can get out of this. But Javi just wants to forget it. And Leo's like, wait, you're being very weird about this. And I just love, I'm like, wow, you are tapped into your partner.
Yes. He picked up on something.
Yes.
Yeah. And to be fair, Javi's being weird.
Javi is being super weird. And we're going to find out why in 6 to 7 minutes. Back with Stephanie and Alex, Stephanie's flattered that he wants her to publish the book. She doesn't want people knowing that Stephanie Johnson of SJPR, Stephanie Johnson Public Relations,
Aptly named.
yes,
Yes.
call it what it is. She doesn't want people to know that Stephanie Johnson writes this kind of salacious drivel, just obsessed. Alex insists, I loved this exchange. He's like, this book is a masterpiece compared to 50 Shades of Grey. And then he's like, I watched that on a plane. And so the kind of man who would watch 50 Shades of Grey on a plane, that actually tells me everything I need to know about you.
Yeah. And then he goes on to say like that the characters are more fleshed out and the dialogue is better, which I don't think you could get from watching the movie, probably.
Correct. Actually, good, fair point.
Says specifically that he didn't read 50 Shades of Grey. He just watched it. And then he says something pretty clearly about
Irrelevant
Yeah.
writing critique.
Yeah.
And then he casually suggests she publish under a nom de plume.
Nom de plume.
Nom de plume.
Yes. We're all in our literary eras, you know?
I just love when they're like, yeah, we're not going to go back and get another take for nom de plume.
Yeah.
Nom de plume.
Nom de plume.
But yeah, she's not really buying it. She ends the scene playfully rolling her eyes at the suggestion. She loves the drama. I can't with this woman.
So real quick, he is very shirtless and like very prominently featured in all of the scenes.
Yes.
That was a lot.
Yeah. It was
That
a lot of
is kind of his whole thing.
Yeah.
He's always taken his shirt off. He's always, when he is wearing a shirt, he's wearing because he is a man of business. He's always wearing these button downs that are like painted on him, like the smallest, tiniest button down shirts you could possibly be wearing. He's quite literally busting out of his shirts all the time.
Yeah.
That's his vibe.
Great.
I also feel like the way that those two touch each other is very actory. Like
Yes.
it's just like such a weird like
And
no,
there's
a podcast.
no
It's a
baby.
podcast.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's not a visual medium.
Listeners.
Miriam was
Yeah.
all over Adam. It's very performative of like we're comfortable with
Yes,
each other
exactly.
sensually.
Yeah.
And it makes my stomach turn.
Yes. it's very like it just reads like two actors.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah. Which they are. So, you know.
Call it what it is. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay, we're going to go back to the weirdly romantically charged father-son scene at the pub.
I gotta say, I liked this scene. I liked these scenes with the father-son. It was compelling to me.
It's definitely the highest stakes.
Yes, I
well,
think
I
that's
guess
probably what I'm saying.
other than the anaphylaxis, this is the highest stakes of the episode.
I was struck by how close Johnny was to the extra in this scene, sitting at the table.
Physically close to someone who shouldn't be in all the shots.
And also like they're in a pub shouting at each other.
Yes. Yeah. And I love it when I can't decide which one I love more. Like sometimes the extras will like look over their shoulder. Like when something like that's happening and there's like a fight happening in the pub, sometimes they'll be like, what's going on over there? Which I love. But I also love it when they do not acknowledge it at all.
This guy did not turn around.
Really
at
enjoying
all.
my coffee.
Yeah,
like if Johnny had like
nothing
made
to
a
see
gesture
here.
like this, he would have like touched the guy.
Yeah, nothing to see here vibes.
Yes.
So yeah, Johnny's basically like, I can explain, but EJ's like, there's no need. You know, I know the events of the night have been weighing heavily on you and contributed to you pulling out of this adoption. So this was the big drama with them. Basically, Johnny and his wife, Chanel, were supposed, who we meet later, they were supposed to adopt a baby from a teen pregnancy couple in town who we also know. But EJ has such a bad reputation as like a evildoer.
Yes.
That the family of the pregnant teen were not comfortable having their grandchild adopted to anyone related to the Demera family. So the adoption fell through because of EJ's bad reputation. And Johnny was so enraged that there was a scene, an iconic scene, which I did talk about in an episode of my podcast titled Chekhov's Bagel Knife, where Johnny and EJ are having a similar fight to this, but in the privacy of Johnny's home. And there's a bagel knife on the table. And Johnny keeps looking at the knife and looking at his dad and being like, I could just kill you.
Dear.
It is very funny.
Why did EJ think that Johnny pulled out of the adoption if it's the family of the pregnant teen?
Oh, this is what happened. The family pulled out initially, and then like Johnny and Chanel did all this work to be like, no, we don't have any relationship with him. You can trust us. So the family agreed. And then Johnny, this is dark and I keep having to go back into it. Johnny found out that he was conceived when EJ sexually assaulted his mother.
Jeez.
Hence EJ's bad reputation.
Certainly.
Which I referred to earlier. So that was new information to him. And he basically was like, you are evil. I am born of evil. I cannot be a father because I will pass down evil to my child.
Oh, damn.
So then Johnny, when the family was like, we changed our mind, we will adopt you guys, Johnny was like, actually, I don't want to. I cannot have a child. Yes. So that was bad.
EJ just straight bad? Like,
he's extremely bad. Yeah.
Bad vibes for sure.
Bad vibes.
Yeah.
Super
but
bad
I wasn't
vibes.
sure if it was just like bad vibes because like I wasn't sure, to be honest, who I knew EJ wasn't a great guy, but I wasn't like rooting for Johnny. Are we supposed to be rooting for Johnny in that scene?
I think so, actually. Okay. But also, so when EJ got shot and woke up from his coma, he was like, I'm a new man. I want to like leave my past evil behind and turn a new leaf.
Yeah.
And so that's, I think you're sort of supposed to believe EJ's actually trying to do the right thing here.
Okay.
Basically, Johnny's just like, I don't regret anything that happened that night. And we're still sort of like talking around the whole shooting thing. EJ's just like still taken aback that like Johnny could hate him so much, you know, like I've been there for you, blah, blah, blah. And Johnny looks at EJ, he goes, when I look at you, all I feel is disgust. And he goes, I hate you. And I always will. And that makes EJ pound his marble-topped cane onto the floor like an ailing oil baron as he fights back his emotion.
Yes.
And this is when I was like, oh, you would think that they're lovers if you didn't know they were father and son.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's that, yeah.
Yeah, it's charged.
I thought that. No, I also love Adam thinking that he's like, wow, great gay representation on Days of Our Lives. I mean,
half of the storylines are, yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
Now we're in the square. Chanel, owner of the bakery, Johnny's wife, comes running out with Felicity, high schooler with Down syndrome, who is Kat's sister.
Yes.
She
Why
works
did
at the
Kat's
bakery.
sister come to town if Kat came to town? Did she come to town when Kat came to town impersonating Chad's dead wife?
So Kat has another like adult brother and then two younger siblings.
Okay.
And Kat's brother and younger siblings thought Kat died in an accident years ago. There's a lot of who died when.
Yeah.
So they moved to Salem as like Kat's brothers and sister. And then Kat came to Salem pretending to be Abigail, but Kat's oldest brother knew that Kat was his sister and they were in cahoots together.
Okay.
But the younger
He says,
siblings,
like, you're not Abigail, you're my sister Kat.
yeah.
Who also I thought was dead.
Yes. So and he was also being blackmailed by the same person who was using Kat as a pawn. It was a whole thing. So like the answer, the short answer is yes and no. They did come together and also they didn't come together.
Yep.
But after the whole Abigail thing, she got to be like, Felicity, I'm your sister Kat. I'm not dead. And then she was like, cool, great. I love that. Do I live with you now? And she was like, yes, you do.
They all live together.
They all live together. Well, Kat's older brother, Mark, tried to kill Chad. And so he's in jail. So he lives at jail, but
jail street.
Yeah, but Kat's other siblings do live with her. Yes.
Okay. She has two high school aged siblings living with her.
Yes.
Not great for a budding relationship.
That's part of why they're not boning yet, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Whose house? Yeah.
Yeah, where do we go?
This shit's crazy. The more we get into it.
I know,
it doesn't simplify anything, right? I was like, Olivia will simplify this.
The more clarifying questions you ask, like the worse it gets. So, yeah, Felicity and Chanel come out. Xander's explaining, Sarah had an allergic reaction while eating one of the scones she has all the time. And then Chanel goes, wait, Sarah, didn't you tell me one time you're allergic to pistachios? Which I just thought was a hilarious way to introduce this into the scene. Like, didn't you tell me? And Sarah's like, I'm kind of recovering right now. Like, can we leave me out of this?
Yeah.
So then Chanel covers her face to indicate upset while she goes, oh no. And then she runs off to try to think. She thinks a vegan scone made with pistachio milk instead of regular milk was served to Sarah. This is a disaster.
As someone who doesn't drink regular milk, I will say pistachio milk is a crazy choice to make.
For a vegan alternative?
It's just not
heard of pistachio milk.
You can buy it, but it's just like to make a scone, to make a
lemon scone.
Out of pistachio, like it's certainly the most expensive. You can buy pistachio milk to like put a teaspoon in your coffee or something like that, but to make like 1,000 scones to people make a small bakery.
Maybe a few dozen.
Okay,
a thousand pistachio milk scones. Title of the episode.
How big is this town? How many scones do they eat? We don't know.
Yeah.
How many vegans are in
town? Vegans are in town? We actually don't have this data.
We don't know. But surprised that they even have a vegan alternative, to be honest.
The town's extremely progressive. Look at all the gay people.
Look at all the gays.
I'm wondering if like Sarah's pistachio allergy is something that they've talked about before. Because I would be like, make her allergic to some other nut. Make her allergic to almonds or cashews, whatever.
Yeah.
A more common.
When she says, "Didn't you tell me?" She's referencing a scene from 10 episodes where she did.
I mean, maybe, but I just can't. I can't remember it because sometimes I turn on this show and leave the room and just let it keep playing. I have so many episodes to get through.
Yeah.
Then Xander like gets up and I actually think pretty calmly asks Felicity if it's possible that she brought out the wrong scone.
Yeah.
Like he really is just like, Felicity, is this a possibility? And Kat's like, please be careful how you speak to my sister. Like she gets extremely defensive extremely quickly.
Yes.
And then Xander does take it, I think, too far and like accuses Felicity of being careless, which is uncalled for.
Yes.
Now Chad's defending Felicity. Felicity's getting upset. Chanel's heels come clanking back across the cobblestones and she announces it is all her own fault.
Yes.
cliffhanger end
With
of
a long pause after that.
long tail.
Not 13 seconds, but yes.
Not quite. Yeah. We go back to Stephanie and Alex where she's brainstorming her nom de plumes. She tries out Harper, just
like Beyonce.
Harper, like Beyonce or Shakira.
Shakira.
And I'm like, is it a Harper Lee reference? What a fucking nerd.
Yeah, truly. Weird choice.
Not a good standalone name. Yeah, you're trying to go for Beyonce for your nom de plume. You're nuts.
For a romance novel?
You're fucking nuts.
You're nuts.
Alex is sort of like, let's keep workshopping the pen name. And then he's like, okay, I've got about 50 pages left of the book. And, you know, I don't want any spoilers. He continues to go on about the character development. We've been doing this the entire episode where Stephanie's like, oh, the character development is what you like about the book? Are you sure it's not the erotica? And I'm like, you guys have to stop.
You must.
And then they're like talking about a scene that he thought was particularly hot in the book. And he like flips to a page. And
forward that he's not read.
The forward?
Yeah. He picked a page
he like
ahead of where he said he was.
And he literally just goes like, this? I haven't even
Page
tried
246.
this. Stephanie's like, I haven't done that either. No time like the present. And he throws the manuscript away and calls her Harper as he kisses her. And I debate ending it all. I just, I hate this.
Hate it. Yeah.
Bad vibes.
Yeah.
We're back at the park with Javi and Leo. He insists he's not being weird. And Leo's like, we tell each other everything. Like, you told me that story about that weird mall Santa who asked you if he could show you his North Pole. Like, I was just like, guys, what's happening this episode?
I would say that Javi was one of the better actors.
I agree.
I felt like he was actually talking like a human.
I agree. Do you think it's possible that he's like the straight man next to a character like Leo Stark, who is a Muppet in many ways?
Yeah. Possibly.
Well, it's because they're always, the way Leo is written is like, not unlike last week's episode of Drag Race, this thing is da-da-da-da-da. Like, they're doing like gay Mad Libs for him.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And Javi is like, I am a person.
Yeah.
Totally. I think that's fair. I do think he's great. Javi finally relents and is like, fine, I'll tell you. Back when I lived in Corpus Christi, I was supposed to be a firefighter EMT. But as soon as I became a probationary firefighter, I quit. And then Leo asks if something happened, and Javi just stares at him with a dark look. As we move forward into the episode, we use the phrase firefighter EMT 100 times.
Many times.
Yeah.
I've
wondered if that's
never.
a-
Not sure it's a word. Like, there are EMTs and there are firefighters.
But like, yeah,
Together?
firefighter EMT is maybe a specialty. Firefighter EMTs, sound off in the comments. If you're listening,
Please.
please make yourselves known.
Yeah. And did you ever know this guy named Javi?
Did you ever know this guy named Javi in Corpus Christi? And was he in this calendar? We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Back in the square, the sirens are finally approaching. Chanel's explaining she's the one who mixed up the regular scone with the vegan one. She must have been distracted. She has so much going on. Sarah assures her it's okay. Kat's immediately like, and Xander, you need to apologize to my sister. And he's just like, I'm sorry, I jumped to conclusions. And then he does an incredible like, paramedics, this way, and like runs out of the scene. And Kat clutches onto Felicity like she is her child and looks after Xander like, that bastard. That was the vibe.
I didn't like him very much. So.
I mostly didn't like the fact that he didn't believe his wife was in anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
But he's not a great guy.
Yeah. I also do feel like the ambulance should have been closer if we're in the town square, probably.
I could not agree more.
Yeah.
It also
dramaturgically.
I feel like we're also doing a lot of reaching in terms of just like, it's like a pedestrian square. So it's like, where can the ambulance pull in? It's a whole thing.
Yeah, we don't know.
Back at the pub, EJ's upset. He's like vaguely threatening that Johnny needs to tread lightly. You know, I'm not a doormat. You can't just treat me so terribly. And Johnny basically accuses him of like yeah, this whole enlightened post-shooting EJ act wasn't going to last. And then my favorite is EJ goes, look it up. Being in a coma can change a person. I'm obsessed with that factoid, medical factoid.
WebMD probably
Yes.
is
Probably
where you'd read
could
that.
confirm it's like
Yeah.
it's side effects of a coma can change you as a person.
Can change you.
Yes, but it doesn't matter. Johnny wants EJ out of his life. And EJ goes, you certainly almost got your wish, didn't you? And they just glare at each other. Again,
The glare
sexual
hurt.
tension.
Yes.
Back with Javi and Leo, Javi turns away because he does not want to talk about why he quit being a firefighter EMT. Leo refers to they had recently had a conversation about this job that he was so passionate about that spoke to his soul. And I was like, wow, firefighter EMT, you invented a career that spoke to your soul.
Yeah.
Javi tells Leo it's too painful to discuss and promises that he'll talk about it someday, but not today.
No.
What happened? I still
I
don't
want to
know.
know.
I want to
wanna
know. Adam's going to have to tune back in.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can tell us offline.
I'll text you guys when it comes
Okay,
up.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'll tell
I
you
bet
off
it was
mic.
love. I bet it was love stuff.
Okay.
I bet.
You think he got
That's
his
what
heart broken?
That's what I think. Yeah.
No, I think it's much darker than that.
Oh, okay.
Now back at the square, Felicity is super anxious about Sarah, wants to make sure she's okay, and Kat's like giving her a pep talk. The pep talk kind of goes off the rails where Kat's like, Felicity, you're amazing and you have so much going for you, and anyone who tries to tell you you're not good enough is projecting. And I'm like, wait, hang on.
What? Yeah.
Just come back to like, Felicity, you didn't do
This
anything
wasn't
wrong.
yeah.
This wasn't your fault. This was an accident and you didn't
Yeah.
do anything wrong. Like now we're like, talk about projecting.
Talk about projecting. But for good reason, because Chad's over there like with a boner.
With a visible erection.
Visible.
I missed that part.
Just kidding.
They're on Peacock. They can do anything now.
They can.
He is like, I'm seeing you in a new
Yeah.
light
Yeah.
vibes. Basically, Chanel comes back. She's going to close the bakery for the day. Felicity's going to have the day off. She's like, I need to recover from this. Kat thanks Chad for defending Felicity, and they have a flirty moment where, Chad has a boner. And yeah, he's like, the way you jumped in and took charge under pressure really impressed me. And I'm like, I think it's just that she called 911.
Yeah.
Like no one else thought to call 911. But
And-
that's taking charge under pressure.
Was it that or was it the way that she yelled
Defended her sister.
Xander? Yeah.
I don't know. Could be both. Yeah.
Both inform the character's point of view.
Deep moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Rich,
For sure.
layered.
Layers.
Now, the climax of the fight with Johnny and EJ in the pub, Johnny wants to let EJ know that Xander Kyriakis is courting him for a job at Titan Demera, which is a huge slap in the face to EJ because famously Demera used to be his company and he lost it during a hostile takeover when he was in a coma, which changes a person. And so now Xander is trying to poach Johnny, basically. They're trying to hire him at Titan Demera to do capital B business.
Capital B business.
Yeah. Basically, Johnny's like, I know he's only offering it to me to like stick it to you, but I'm going to take that job anyway. And Johnny leaves and EJ punches his fist into a table at the pub. And again, no response from the extras in the restaurant.
It could have been effective as just like if he's got that cane, like.
Because also like one famously punches a table like this, like side of the wrist or side of the hand down, not knuckle.
Like
knuckle to table.
Bread kneading.
Unless one is kneading a loaf of bread.
Unless one is kneading bread.
He's really tall. Maybe that's like an angle thing for him.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be too low to try to do your standard fist to table.
Fist to table.
Maybe. We're being very generous this episode.
That's true.
Back at the square, I'm confused. Kat has a cake box all of a sudden. I don't know why she has that.
Yeah.
But she and Chad are now discussing their plans for the bachelorette auction date. So there was a fundraiser for the hospital because the hospital was in danger of closing. And there was a naturally a bachelorette auction, as all hospital fundraisers have.
Mhm.
And yes, super above board,
Yeah.
where employees of the hospital are auctioned off.
Yep.
Chad ended up with a date with Kat, and they're deciding what to do. They think a picnic by the river, but no, that's either too romantic or too tempting for Chad to push her in the
Row her in
river.
the river?
I didn't understand that. She was like, I grew up with brothers. You boys all just push women in rivers.
Sounds like foreshadowing to me.
Adam's
I'm
like,
right here.
and
Yeah.
you'll all be laughing when in 40 episodes, Kat gets pushed into a river. Then they're like, okay, we're going to keep it casual, you know, let's go to an amusement park. And Kat's like, no, if I got scared on a roller coaster, we would get too cozy. Because they're aware of the fact that like people think it's weird that they hang out. So they're like, we shouldn't
sense.
do anything romantic.
Yes. Okay.
Then he suggests, at the amusement park, she's like, or you could win me a teddy bear and then I'd have to give you a big hug.
Hug. I know, but she clearly wanted to say kiss on the mouth.
And rub up
And
on you.
Rub. Yeah. I know, but instead she said,
Hug.
you know, hug. And I saw the decision to say hug. I was like, I saw that beat.
Great beat. So then he suggests a Cubs game, which is probably what gave away Chicago.
Yes.
And then she's like, no, I love baseball. That would actually be an extremely romantic date.
Super sexy baseball stadiums.
Extremely. She's like, oh my God, the Cubs.
Yeah.
And then she recommends picking up trash on the side of the road, which did make me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
And then it escalates to skydiving because I guess I'm like, so the fear of heights on the roller coaster is a problem, but like the adrenaline rush of we just jumped out of a plane together won't make you immediately start fucking in the field when you land.
The
What are you talking
arguments
about?
were not thought out. I
No,
would say.
absolutely not. But I guess we're going skydiving, and
So,
Chad walks Felicity and Kat out of the square. Chanel like tells them she'll be okay. She just needs some time alone. But when they leave, she drops onto a bench and stares off in worry.
yes.
Really sad.
Really sad.
Yeah.
She's acting really sad.
Really sad.
Yeah. Cut back to Stephanie and Alex. Their sexy time is over. Like, I really thought we were going to get more of that, but now he's finishing a work call. She's bringing him coffee.
He's still not dressed.
He's still not dressed. He is still shirtless.
Yeah.
Or maybe the shirt's on but open. I can't remember.
Fully off.
There
Okay,
was
fully off.
nary a shirt to be seen
Yeah.
this entire episode.
Never a shirt in sight. Got it. I just think it's funny. Yeah, Alex is like, Xander left town. Oh, so the whole thing was Xander and Sarah were supposed to like be going on a little vacation, but she went into anaphylactic shock. But Alex is like, Xander left me this important business to attend to while he's out of town. And Stephanie gives him a hilarious look. Like, she does not take his job seriously at all. She's literally just like, okay, which is funny.
Yeah. Nothing like her PR job.
No, I do PR and I write erotica.
Yeah.
Come on, get on
Come
my
on.
level.
Exactly.
Alex starts talking about this very important acquisition Xander is trying to make that is not relevant to this episode, but very important to the full arc of the show. So like Xander and Titan have put together this bid to buy Salem University Hospital, which is the big hospital in town. The only hitch is that EJ is also putting in just like a private offer. He's like, I have had a come to Jesus after my coma. I want to save the hospital that saved me. I have generational wealth, and so I'm going to do it.
Bad investment, I would say.
Which people bring up a lot. People are always like, you know, you don't just buy a failing hospital out of the goodness of your heart. He must have ulterior motives.
Right.
Or he must be really nice now. Those are the.
Or
Fair.
he
Those are the
really changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, yeah, exactly.
A coma can change people.
A coma can change a person. Look it up.
Look
A
it
coma
up.
can change you.
Look it up. People.
Coma survivors, please come into
Yeah.
the comments
Yeah,
and
okay.
let us
See?
know.
Sound off in the comments. Did being
Sound
in a
off.
coma
Yeah.
change you as a
Change
person?
you. Yeah.
Yeah. And how? Follow up with how.
Please.
Were you evil and then you decided to buy a failing hospital out of the generosity of your heart? Oh my
Sound
God.
off.
Basically, Stephanie's mom is the chief of staff at the hospital and I guess has some sort of sway on like how the board votes with whose offer they're going to accept. Alex basically asks Stephanie if she'll have her mom sway the vote for Demera or for Titan Demera. And I think that's corruption.
For sure.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think it's good.
Certainly not.
Now we're at the hospital. Sarah, anaphylaxis, has been checked in and, Xander's sitting with her. They canceled their trip. The romantic getaway is off. She's going to be released that afternoon, but she doesn't have a road trip to Lake Geneva in her.
No.
My God, not
Too
after
far.
this day. Too far. Xander is just so grateful. He thought he was going to lose Sarah. And Sarah, I just like the way she delivers this line. She's like, yeah, I kind of thought I was a goner. Because it is a little bit like, you did not save me.
Yeah. It was not looking good for Sarah in that square with just Xander.
No,
That's right.
absolutely not. He would have just like ripped her shirt open at a certain point.
She would have been both dead and
exposed.
and exposed.
So Xander starts rightfully kicking himself for not realizing she was having an allergic reaction. And she's like, it's fine. You've never seen me have a reaction like that, which I don't think is a good excuse. She needs to be harder on him. And they are just so grateful that Javi showed up when he did. Cut back to the park. Javi brings Leo ice cream. And I'm reminded it's still breakfast time. I love these two doing ice cream for breakfast.
Of course.
Wait, they did it instead of breakfast or before as like an appetizer for breakfast?
I think instead of in place of breakfast, because I think Javi ends up going to work after this.
I see.
But again, impossible to know what time of day it is at all because
it's
why are they in a pub?
High noon
High noon always.
Yes. Leo busts out a little more Duolingo Spanish when he's like handing Javi the ice cream, or no, Javi hands Leo the ice cream and Leo goes, gracias, guapo. And like the way Javi reacts, I kind of think that the actor playing Leo improvised the Spanish and he was a little bit like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Which is why I like their vibe. Leo he like doesn't want to grill Javi about why he quit being a firefighter EMT, but he needs to know if he was ever posed for a hot firefighter calendar because he has one from 2017 that he still looks at. And the dreamboat from October, whose face was partially in shadow, looks a lot like Javi. Again, this is why they are doing Drag Race Mad Libs for him, basically, where it's just like, what do gay guys like?
What do you guys say?
Firefighter calendars?
Yeah.
Let's give him that.
Well, I think it's important for those who might be watching it who don't know gay people to have
to feel that culture is
exposure.
represented.
Exactly.
Again, everyone in this episode is extremely horny. Leo's like, do you still have the uniform? Will you model it for me? I'm just like, okay, who knew Leo had a firefighter EMT kink?
Who doesn't, though?
It's also like an extremely not sexy uniform, like an EMT uniform.
No, probably not. But again, we don't know what a firefighter EMT
wears.
Is or wears.
It's some combination of like a firefighter's thing and just like the blues of an EMT.
Perfect.
They got to wear the fire retardant clothing, I would assume. So that's the sexy part. I think it's
got it. Yeah, there's a hose. I don't know. I can't speak to it. So we do some like weird cringy, I would climb any ladder to be with you. You put quite a fire in my heart. We're kissing. I can't. That was tough. That was tough. Now, Johnny walks into the square to find a bereft Chanel, who at this point, they are estranged. They are not living together because she was so devastated about him not wanting to adopt anymore.
Yeah.
He asks if she's okay. She says, I'm not. And she breaks into hysterical sobs and Johnny holds her and she clutches his muscular arm.
For me, that was helpful because until that point, we didn't really have any crossover in the scenes.
That's correct. This actually is the classic structure of a Days of Our Lives episode. Everyone is standing in the exact same spot for the first 35 minutes. And in the last 5 minutes of the episode, everyone moves and switches and like people intersect. It always happens.
That's very funny.
Literally, when people move, I'm like, the episode is almost over.
Ah,
It's very silly.
You got to really start paying attention. Something important's about to.
yeah.
Exactly. Chad's walking with Felicity and Kat when EJ hobbles out of the pub. Now he's got the cane. He's shot in the chest. His hand definitely hurts. He's a mess. EJ wants to speak to Chad in private. Kat and Felicity leave. And EJ like creepily asks Chad if he's smitten with Ms. Green. I'm just like, ew, leave them alone. EJ then tells Chad because his life was literally saved at the hospital, he would like to buy the hospital before it closes from bankruptcy. But Kayla, Stephanie's mom, who's the chief of staff of the hospital, is against it. But apparently Chad's on the board of the hospital, which I think is news to me. So EJ wants him to sway the vote in his favor. So now we have multiple levels of corruption.
Yep, perfect.
So I guess that cancels, everything is canceled out.
Yeah, and everything's above board.
No corruption.
Everyone knows if you commit 2 crimes, then it's actively zero
crimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lawyer stuff.
Now, there's a hilarious bit with Javi and Leo where Javi says something about how he actually saved a cat from a tree. And Leo's like, my old roommate had this cat that couldn't even get on the kitchen counter. And again, it's the writing. It's the writing for this man. Javi's basically like, I appreciate your interest in my former job, but I'm going to be late for my current one. And I'm like, I thought you were playing hooky today.
Yeah.
But Javi leaves to go to work, and Leo obviously immediately pulls out his phone to Google Javier Hernandez, Corpus Christi, firefighter EMT.
While saying, I shouldn't. No, I will. I'm going to. To who? To himself?
To
It's
us.
his first time direct address.
To us.
Good,
He should look at the camera and wink and say, I know I shouldn't do this.
Yeah. I would love that.
I would love that too.
Break that fourth wall.
Oh, please. I love this scene. We go back to the hospital. Xander's like, we have to do something to thank Javi. We should send him something nice, like a fruit basket. And then he's like, oh God, would that be homophobic?
That was amazing.
And Sarah's just like, no, you dumbass.
Is he a dumbass? He seems like a dumbass.
I think he's a dumbass. I think that's it. Yeah. Xander's just like, I think I'm extra on edge because I really put my foot in my mouth today with Felicity. He's just like, I feel guilty about how I acted, but you're just so important to me. And then like they're kissing and I'm just like, everyone stop. Everyone take a break.
Yeah.
We go again. I can't. Relentless. We go back to Alex and Stephanie. They're talking about how he's basically running Titan DiMera while Xander's out of town. And Stephanie's like, but actually we should take this opportunity where you don't have your boss breathing down your neck to reenact page 246 of One Stormy Night. I'm like, I thought we just did this.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, Are they a new couple? They must be a new couple.
Not really. They're just so
horny. They're just horny.
He's never in a shirt.
Yeah, that's fair.
And she's clearly got it on the mind with her writing,
Yes. Yes.
So they did reenact this page 246 a second time that that was all the same morning.
It is all the same morning. I think it's still morning because no one's gone to work yet.
Right.
No.
This is still
6 a.m.
This is between 6 and 8:30.
That's crazy. We're eating ice cream.
We've had hospital interactions.
Totally.
We've had people. I mean, there's people who've had sex multiple times. Yeah, I mean, there's already been a brawl at the pub. My God.
The pub is open at that time?
Yeah, they got to get the breakfast
24
rush.
hours.
24-hour pub. It's the Waffle House equivalent of Salem.
Yes.
Now back with Chad and EJ. Chad tells EJ he will back him on the hospital bid, but EJ better move quick because Chad just got a text that there's a buyer calling a meeting with the board who's ready to make an offer. And that buyer is Xander. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
EJ is pissed.
Yeah.
Now, back at the square, finally, Chanel has told Johnny about the whole allergen ordeal, and Johnny assures her it was just a mistake. Sarah and Xander will forgive her, and they'll still be regulars, which I feel like is the least of her worries at this point.
Yes.
I feel like a lawsuit is probably should be top of mind.
Yeah, but maybe they buy a lot of scones, and it is keeping the business afloat.
She makes thousands of
Thousands.
pistachio.
Listen, I'm thinking like industrial
She
kitchen.
needs their money.
Their business.
It's
never know.
extremely expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, Johnny's like, this is ridiculous. He goes, they'd have to take the Titan jet all the way to Pauwi to get a biscuit that good.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Pauwi.
Pauwi. Also, biscuits are I don't think they do biscuits in Paris.
I don't think Paris is known for their biscuits. No.
Yeah, and we've been talking about scones this whole
We've been
time.
talking about scones the whole time. I think Paris more of a croissant
Croissant? Yeah,
situation.
definitely.
Not our strongest,
No.
Johnny. But he's he's just being silly. He's just trying to cheer her up.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet guy.
Clearly history there.
Chanel admits it's working. And then she goes, Johnny, before when I was in your arms, it felt right. I've missed that. So horny. Everyone again, here we go. And I'm just like, I don't think it felt right. I think you were
crying.
Wailing.
Yeah.
She reminds him that, when he called off the adoption, the dream she had of their life was taken from her, and it was really painful. But after reflecting, she realized Johnny made the right decision, and she may be ready to forgive him and have him move back home. But first, she has to ask, and she goes, I need you to be honest. Did you shoot your father? And the underscoring stings because it's a cliffhanger, end of episode. Done, done, done.
Crazy. Why would she care is not the right question, but like she just needs to know everything.
I think she's like, we can't have secrets vibes.
Is the rumor, so EJ saw this video. Other people saw this video. Why does she suspect?
The police actually haven't seen the video yet, but the police will see the video.
Okay.
And
She
so
just suspects
basically, he kept going around town being like, I hate my dad. I want to kill my dad.
And then he gets shot.
And then he got shot. And people were like, hang on, I bet it was him.
Yeah.
But we find out in future episodes, it was not Johnny. Johnny just came to the house and pointed a gun at EJ, but then EJ talked him down and he left and someone else came in and shot EJ.
Who was it? Can you tell us?
I may cut it out of the episode because I might recap an episode where we talk about it, but it was not someone in this episode. It was who has behavioral issues.
And access to firearms.
We don't practice gun safety in this house.
Damn.
Yeah.
Again, there's so much.
It's a rich text. You can always keep coming back and there's more layers to peel back. Thank you so much for doing this. This was so fun. I mean, any major takeaway? Yeah. How have you been changed for good from watching this one episode of Days of Our Lives?
I'm gonna start writing romance novels.
He's been inspired. By
Yes.
Stephanie
Adam,
Johnson.
anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Just don't write any salacious drivel.
Okay.
Yeah, just make sure it's not salacious dribble.
Or tawdry.
And choose a good nom de plume.
Yes, nom de plume.
Nom de
Nom de plume.
One name.
I'm just so I think it tells me so much about you kind of and your sense of humor and
My
your
sensibility.
observational I feel like I get a little bit I know a little bit more about my dear friend Olivia, which is so fun. And I'm so fascinated by the whole thing also as from a industry perspective as
Mhm.
are these actors who wanted to do other things or are these actors who really wanted to be on a soap?
Literally from where I sit, I'm like, if I got on a soap opera, I would never do anything else for the rest of my life. And I would be like, I will work this job until I'm 90 years old.
Yeah.
I literally keep me on.
How does one get on a soap opera?
I don't know. I'll find out. I'm gonna be in LA for a month.
Yeah,
In a couple weeks, I'm gonna knock on the door of the studio in Burbank where they film, and I'm gonna say, "Put me in, coach."
I mean, you have to.
I'll figure it out. But
You
this
must.
this time next month, I'm gonna be on.
Hell yeah. Amazing. No, this was so fun.
She's delusional. Folks, if you're still listening, wow, I now turn to talk to my audience. Thank you for listening. If you like the podcast, subscribe, leave a rating and a review if you enjoy what we're doing here. You can follow the podcast on Instagram at So Are the Days Podcast. I will post some screenshots of the episode, including, but not limited to, Kat's wedding dress that she wore to work, pulling at the mock turtleneck with Sarah. There's a lot of good visuals in this episode. You can also follow me on TikTok at Days of Our Live, wordplay, where I sometimes talk about the show on TikTok. And we'll be back not next week, but the week after with another fun recap. Thanks for listening. Miriam and Adam, not with Miriam and Adam, with other people. Adam was like, wait, we're coming back? No.
So fun. Thank you.
Those were the days of our lives, folks.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.